There are moments in life when the pressure around you feels almost unreal. Moments when it seems like enemies rise up out of nowhere, situations get louder, opposition grows stronger, and the weight of these challenges starts to feel heavy. But here's what I want you to hear today. None of it is random. None of these trials and tribulations is wasted in the presence of God. And absolutely none of it is a sign that God has abandoned you. In fact, it's the opposite. Many times, the presence of enemies is proof of your purpose. The pressure is confirmation that you are carrying something valuable inside of you, something the enemy wants to stop, silence, or suffocate before it rises. When God places greatness inside someone, the enemy doesn't stay quiet. He doesn't sit in the corner and politely watch you walk into your destiny. No, he tries to distract you, discourage you, intimidate you, confuse you, or exhaust you. But every attack he sends only ends up exposing how strong God has made you. Every weapon formed becomes an opportunity for God's glory to break through. That is why you can't look at your enemies with fear. You can't look at your haters with frustration. You can't look at your opposition with hopelessness. You must look at them through faith and say, God is up to something in my life. The truth is this: God uses enemies as elevators. Opposition becomes opportunity. Resistance builds spiritual strength. Attacks force you into deeper prayer. Haters unintentionally push you into purpose. And your greatest battles become the very stages God uses to reveal His glory in your life. What looks like warfare is often preparation. What feels like rejection is often redirection. What feels like an attack is often a setup. So today, as we walk through this message, I want you to open your heart, relax your shoulders, and breathe. God sees you. God knows exactly what you're facing. And God has already declared victory before the battle even began. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 says, "No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper." The weapon may form, but it cannot win. And today, you're going to learn how God is using even your enemies as part of your elevation. When you start seeing enemies rise up in your life, don't panic. Pay attention. The level of opposition often reveals the level of purpose in your life. The enemy doesn't waste energy attacking someone who isn't a threat. If he's showing up in your relationships, your thoughts, your emotions, your finances, or your mind, it's because something in you is dangerous to his kingdom of darkness. You carry something powerful that has the potential to break generational curses, the ability to bring healing and restoration to those around you, fostering unity and love within families. The enemy knows that with your faith, you will inspire others, igniting a spark of hope and motivation in their lives, helping them to envision a brighter future in Christ. The enemy knows that your commitment to winning souls for Christ will empower you to spread his message, illuminating the path for those in darkness. So of course, he's going to try to distract you. But distractions are only powerful when you stop focusing on God. Colossians chapter 3 verse 2 says, "Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things." Your purpose is too big for you to let earthly distractions interfere with God's calling over your life. One thing we often overlook is that the enemy studies potential. He sees the seeds God planted in you. He recognizes movements, giftings, and callings long before you do. That's why attacks show up early. Consider this. Moses was threatened as a baby due to his future significance, as noted in Exodus chapter 1, verse 22, where Pharaoh commanded that every Hebrew boy be thrown into the Nile. Jesus was pursued as a child, reflected in Matthew chapter 2, verses 13 to 14, where an angel warns Joseph to flee to Egypt to protect him from King Herod's decree. David confronted Goliath not because he was inadequate, but because his purpose was powerful, illustrated in 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 45, where David declares that he comes in the name of the Lord. So, if you're in a season where enemies seem unusually active, it's not because you're failing, it's because you're rising. The enemy sees what's coming before you do, but he still loses because God is ahead of him. The truth is, opposition is a teacher. It shows you who you are, what you carry, and what you're capable of with God's strength. The battles you've survived weren't just random storms. They developed spiritual strengths you didn't know you had. Every tear strengthened you. Every trial purified you. Every attack sharpened you. James chapter 1 verse 3 says, "The testing of your faith produces perseverance. You are not the same person you were before the storm. You're stronger, wiser, more resilient, and more aware of God's presence in your life. You may not like the pressure, but it's shaping you. You may not enjoy your enemies, but they are pushing you closer to God. You may not appreciate the resistance, but it's increasing your capability. And when the time is right, God will reveal why the battle had to happen exactly the way it did. Nothing is wasted with God. Not a single tear, not a single hardship, not a single attack. Everything is building something in you, something powerful, something necessary, something purposeful. And when you finally walk into what God prepared for you, you will look back and say, "Now I understand why the opposition had to come." It might sound strange at first, but one of the most powerful things you can learn in your spiritual journey is this: don't blame your haters, thank them. Yes, thank them. Because God will use the very people who tried to break you to build you. He will use the very people who misjudged you to reveal what He placed inside you. Your haters are not blocking your purpose, they are revealing it. When someone rises up against you, it becomes a spotlight exposing your strength, your growth, your calling, and your anointing. Psalm chapter 23, verse 5 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Notice, God didn't say He would remove the enemies first. He said He would bless you in front of them. The blessing is public because the attack was public. Many times, haters appear right when God is elevating you. That's why you cannot take their negativity personally. People will speak from their insecurity when they see someone walking in God's confidence. People will judge what they don't understand. They will criticize what they cannot control. They will try to diminish what they can never duplicate. But your job is not to respond to every arrow thrown at you. Your job is to rise above it. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 11 says, "A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense." You don't owe anyone a reaction. Your silence is maturity. Your peace is evidence of your growth. Your progress is your answer. What your haters don't realize is that God is using their opposition as motivation for your elevation. Their irritation becomes your inspiration. Their rejection becomes your redirection. Their doubt becomes your determination. And God has a way of turning their insults into the very fuel that drives you deeper into purpose. Think about Joseph. His brothers hated him, betrayed him, and sold him. Yet that betrayal positioned him to become a ruler in Egypt. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Your haters are unknowingly participating in God's plan for your destiny. So yes, thank God for your haters. They strengthen you. They reveal who is truly for you. They expose who needs to exit your life. They force you to lean on God more than people. They prune your circle and sharpen your focus. Most importantly, they push you into the arms of God, where you find the strength you never knew you had. When you realize this truth, you stop being bothered by who walked away, who lied on you, or who misunderstood you. You begin to say, "Lord, if they had not done what they did, I would not be who I am." Everything the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good, and He's using even your haters as part of that process. If there had never been weakness, you would never have known strength. If you never faced resistance, you would not have developed resilience. Strength doesn't grow in comfort, it grows through the trials and tribulations you face. Each challenge, whether physical, mental, or emotional, serves as an opportunity for growth, pushing you beyond your limits and helping you develop resilience. It is in overcoming obstacles, be it through perseverance in a difficult workout, navigating a tough personal situation, or tackling a demanding project, that you truly discover the depth of your capabilities and the power that lies within you. Muscles do not grow without pressure, and neither does faith. Every battle you endured was doing something spiritual inside you. Even when you didn't see it, God was developing capacity, endurance, and depth within you. Romans chapter 5 verse 3 says, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance." God doesn't waste battlefields. What hurt you is becoming what strengthens you. What shook you is becoming what stabilizes you. You don't grow by avoiding challenges. You grow by overcoming them. Sometimes the resistance you face is not a sign that you're weak, it's a sign that you're getting stronger. You may not feel strong in the moment, but strength is built through consistency, perseverance, and trust in God. Think about a tree planted in fierce winds. The wind does not break it, the wind forces its roots to go deeper. The same is true for you. The winds of conflict, betrayal, disappointment, and pressure pushed your spiritual roots deeper into God. They anchored you in His presence. They taught you how to pray differently, how to worship with more conviction, and how to trust God even when life didn't make sense. That depth is priceless. And here's what's powerful. Every time you survived something that was meant to break you, you became a different version of yourself. A stronger version, a wiser version, a more spiritually mature version. You developed resilience, the kind of resilience that cannot be bought, taught, or faked. It's the kind of strength that only comes from walking through battles with Jesus Christ by your side. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." You didn't just survive, you soared. You didn't just endure, you evolved. When you look back over your life, you will realize that some of your greatest breakthroughs came from seasons that felt like breakdowns. The pain pushed you into purpose. The loneliness pulled you toward God. The hardship humbled you. The resistance refined you. And because of that refining, you are now capable of carrying what God planned for you all along. Resilience is a gift. Strength is a reward. And everything the enemy used to weaken you has only made you stronger for the next level God is preparing you to step into. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to go through life untouched while others go through storm after storm? It's because the biggest battles are reserved for the people with the greatest purpose. God places His strongest soldiers in the fiercest battles because He has placed a divine calling inside them. You're not going through what you're facing because you're weak. You're going through it because you're chosen. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9 says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light." The calling on your life makes you a target, but it also makes you unstoppable. People may look at your battles and not understand why you carry so much pressure, but God knows what He deposited in you, and He knows exactly what He's preparing you for. One of the greatest proofs of divine purpose is unusual warfare. When the enemy senses that God has placed greatness inside someone, he doesn't sit back. He attacks strategically. But the enemy always fails to consider one thing. God already wrote your ending before your battle began. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The battle is not a prediction of your defeat. It is a preview of your destiny. Consider David. He faced not just any enemy, but Goliath, a giant who towered over him. This was no mere coincidence. God orchestrated this encounter to reveal the warrior within David. As it says in 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 45 to 46, David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head." Through this confrontation, David's true strength was unveiled. Your giant is not proof of your weakness, it is proof of your assignment. When God places His hand on your life, He allows battles that refine you, but never battles that destroy you. He allows opposition that strengthens you, but never opposition that defeats you. Even the fiercest attacks cannot overpower God's plan. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." God is not merely watching your battle. He is in the battle with you. His presence is your advantage. His power is your defense. His promises are your guarantee. That is why even when you feel pressure, you're never unprotected. So yes, your battles have been big, but so is your purpose. Yes, the pressure has been intense, but so is the calling on your life. Yes, the warfare has been real, but so is the anointing God has placed inside you. Every attack is a prophetic sign that you are carrying destiny. Every storm is evidence that God is preparing elevation. And every enemy is unknowingly participating in your breakthrough. This is why you don't need to fear the battle. God trusted you with it. He trusted you because He had already equipped you. And the battle is simply revealing what has been inside you all along. Your enemies think they are stopping you, but what they don't realize is that God is using them to elevate you. God never wastes conflict. He doesn't waste betrayal. He doesn't waste criticism. He uses every negative word, every plot, every attack, and every enemy to push you higher. Psalm chapter 75 verse 6-7 says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one, and setteth up another." People don't elevate you, God does. And when God elevates you, He often does it in front of the same people who tried to bring you down. That's why you don't have to argue your worth. God will display it. Look at the story of Daniel, as we see in Daniel chapter 6 verse 16-23. His enemies plotted against him, lied on him, and set traps to destroy him. But instead of dying in the lion's den, Daniel was promoted. His enemies didn't realize that the very pit they created was going to be the platform God used to elevate him. The same thing will happen to you. The trap won't succeed. The weapon won't win. The attack won't break you. Instead, God will turn it. He will transform it. He will use it to lift you higher than you were before the attack. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 7 says, "When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, He causes their enemies to make peace with them." God will silence the enemy's voice and amplify His own. What you thought was going to destroy you is actually going to develop you. What you thought was going to delay you is actually going to accelerate you. Enemies provide the tension that launches you. Think about a slingshot. It must be pulled backward before it is launched forward. Many of your battles were just God pulling you back, preparing momentum. The farther the pullback, the greater the launch. You felt pressure, you felt tension, you felt misunderstood, but all of it was God positioning you for elevation. And when God decides to launch you, nothing, not people, not demons, not circumstances, can stop your acceleration. So yes, God is going to elevate you through your enemies. They don't have the final say. They don't control your future. They don't determine your worth. They don't define your destiny. God does. And He has already spoken over your life. He has already declared victory. He has already marked you for a purpose. And because of that, you cannot be defeated. Your enemies will witness your rise. They will see God's hand on your life. They will watch the elevation they tried to stop. And the beauty of it all is that God will get the glory, and you will walk into a season that your enemies accidentally helped you reach. There comes a point in your journey where you realize that no enemy, no attack, no criticism, and no obstacle is bigger than God. The enemy wants to paralyze you with fear, but fear loses its power the moment you remember who you belong to. You are not just anybody. You are a child of God. You carry resurrection power within you. You carry divine authority. You carry the Spirit of the living God. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 says, "You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world." The enemy doesn't fear you because of your strength. He fears the strength of God inside you. And when you stand firm in faith, you activate that power. Standing firm doesn't mean you won't feel pressure. It means the pressure won't move you. It doesn't mean the attack won't come. It means the attack won't win. God never promised a life without battles. He promised a life where battles cannot defeat you. Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 4 says, "For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you victory." God is not calling you to win the battle by your own strength. He is calling you to stand still and trust Him. Your role is to stay faithful, stay grounded, stay prayerful, and stay focused on Jesus Christ. Every enemy you face is simply an opportunity for God to reveal His power through you. When God opens a door, no enemy can shut it. When God declares victory, no battle can overturn it. When God appoints you, no person can replace you. That is why you must refuse to let fear take root. Fear will lie to you. Fear will exaggerate the enemy's strength. Fear will try to convince you that you're alone. But faith reminds you that God is with you, God is for you, and God has already secured the win. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." You are never fighting alone. So stand firm, stand confident, stand unshaken. God has equipped you, empowered you, and established you. The battle you're facing today will become the testimony you share tomorrow. The enemy you see now, you will soon see no more, and the victory that God brings will not be small. It will be undeniable, unexplainable, and unforgettable. You will know it was God. Everyone around you will know it was God. Even your enemies will know it was God, because there is no opposition that can overpower the presence of God in your life. And as long as you stand firm in faith, victory is not just possible, it is guaranteed. Before you leave this message today, let this truth settle deep into your spirit. You will always have victory in any battle the enemy brings to you. Not because of your own strength, not because of your own wisdom, not because of your own power, but because you serve a God who has never lost a battle. The same God who parted the Red Sea, shut the mouths of lions, brought down giants, and raised the dead is fighting for you right now. Your enemies are not stronger than God. Your battles are not bigger than His plan, and your opposition is not more powerful than the purpose He has placed inside you. God is not intimidated by the enemy. God is not surprised by the attack. God is not shaken by the opposition, and neither should you be. You are covered, you are protected, you are anointed, you are chosen, and you are appointed for such a time as this. Every time the enemy shows his face, it is simply confirmation that you are stepping into something greater. The enemy doesn't fight people who are going nowhere. He fights people who are rising, growing, stretching, maturing, and stepping into destiny. And that is exactly who you are. So walk with confidence, stand with authority, keep your head high, your spirit strong, and your eyes fixed on Jesus Christ. The opposition is your opportunity. The attack is your elevation. The conflict is your confirmation. And the presence of enemies is the sign that God's hand is on your life. You don't have to be afraid of who comes against you, because what you carry inside you is greater than anything that can come against you. Victory is not just your future, victory is your identity in Christ. As you move forward today, remember this. God is not just working in your life, He is working through your enemies. And when God is for you, nothing and no one can stop what He has ordained over your life. Take heart, stand strong, stay faithful. Your victory is already written, your elevation is on the way.